Hello everyone, I'm Quentin and Thais is behind the camera, and we're here to present you an interview of someone who works on human resources.
Hello, I'm Nick and I work in human resources.
Okay, so I'm ask you 9 questions. So first, is there any particular dress code for a job interview?
Well, that's a good question. I would say that there is no specific dress code for any job interview. However, you should always look neat, smart and professional. For men, it's usually acceptable to have like a nice, crisp, clean shirt. With a tie or without a tie, well, it doesn't really matter. For women, it's the same thing. You just should look smart and professional in your clothes. Yeah, that's about it.
2 or 3 things about what you must do absolutely in a job interview.
Okay, the first one would be to be on time. So don't be late, that's extremely important. Second thing, you should be prepared. If I ask you questions, I want you to have some answers ready. I don't want to see you struggling with all the answers. That would be just unprepared and look pretty terrible. The third thing is just look smart if you can. That would be the third aspect. Yeah. So don't be late, be prepared, and look smart.
And what are the things you must absolutely avoid during a job interview?
Well, there are a lot of things that you should avoid. What could I start with? Let's say the first thing would be to be late. Okay, so being late is definitely a no-no here. Okay, so you should definitely never be late. That's the first thing. The other thing would be negative body language. So anyone who would be sitting like that, or having his arm crossed, or looking hunched over, that would not look well for him. What could I think of as well? Maybe something with familiarity. So if you are too familiar, that's not good. You need to keep a distance with the person that will be potentially your boss or your colleague one day. So just staying who you are and remembering that you are in a very serious type of exchange, and keep this distance.
Should we speak about our motivation for that particular job?
Yes, you definitely should. However, you have to be careful not to come across as too arrogant. That would be the problem. Yep.
Should we show our ambition or be able for a job interview?
Well, you should definitely show your ambition in terms of I want this job and I want to show you that I want this job. However, as I said before, if you are too arrogant and too sure of yourself or full of yourself, this will be a problem for you. So you need to find the right balance here between I'm confident, I've got ambition, I want to work for you, however, I'm not so sure of myself that I'm perfectly sure that I'm going to get this job. So you have to be humble, yet sure of yourself and confident. It's a difficult position to find.
Question 6. Is it better to speak many languages or not?
Well, it always depends on the job you're going to do. I would say that in our company, some level of proficiency in English is needed. Okay, we can work with people who don't have any language skills, but it's preferable to have them.
So, can we apply for a job even if we have no experience in this type of job?
Well, it depends on the kind of job you want to apply to. Senior levels jobs, you typically need experience for those, but I would say that any kind of jobs below that, you can. It's a possibility, but you have to convince me that you can indeed apply for this job and that you're worthy of this job. Youth and is a fantastic thing. You know, they have a lot of energy, they have a lot of motivations, a lot of things to prove. So we can appreciate having young team members in our company. So that's always a good option. All I can say is basically try, and if you get it, then good luck.
Okay, thank you. Do you need the specific qualities for all job?
Well, there are definitely some things that are common in jobs, and especially the things that we're looking for in our company. I would say that things like punctuality. You need to be on time. You know, you can't start working late because you put everyone down the drain. Another thing would be the willingness to adapt. So being adaptable. If you have a task and you're willing to go beyond what you're supposed to be doing, then that's always acceptable. And the last thing I could talk about is a willingness to learn more, because we're always looking to promote our colleagues here in this work environment. And if we can see that you are willing to take on new missions, then we'll definitely try to get you there. Yeah.
The last question.
Yes.
Do you think that being able to work in a team is an asset?
It's definitely an asset. I would even say that it's a necessity. You must know how to work in a team. Well, if you're starting in the company, you might not have experience working as a team. However, the willingness to learn again, so I'm repeating myself here, but if you're willing to learn on how to work with a team, then that's all I ask for. Having someone that has worked in teams before and is adaptable, so that can adapt to the work environment, to the colleagues, and the different profiles that we have, is always a very good asset. That's something that I'm looking for when I'm doing interviews and job applications.
Okay, so thank you for our interview.
You're welcome.
And see you next time, maybe.